Hello, my butterflies. My name is Diane, and today I want to talk about myself, as I usually will be talking about myself, hoping that my experiences could resonate with you and could also help you. So, here we are, butterflies. We are going through life, we are dodging, we are healing, we are becoming better. We're transforming. Every day we are transforming. Every day we are changing. So I was actually raised as a Catholic. I was born Catholic because my mom said that I was baptized very early. I still have some pictures. I was baptized as a baby. I received my first communion later on. I was going to a Catholic church. Most of my life as a little girl, I've gone to Catholic private schools. Every Sunday, I was actually going to church with my cousin, my lovely cousin. I love her so much. Beautiful, beautiful person. So if you ask me, I've gone to church for many, many years when I was younger, but I probably wouldn't be able to tell you what was happening there. I just really loved the music. I knew all the songs we would sing there. I barely could pray, okay? I wasn't so prayerful, but I saw that my cousin would often stop me because I was always doing something. Although we were at church, we were supposed to be calm and listen. I was never listening. She was not much older than I was, but she seemed to understand it. She got it. And now that we're older, she still really just gets the whole church thing, I struggled with it. I was just happy to go with her. That was really the special time that I was spending with her. I was always, like I said, I was always playful and having fun while everything was happening. And I knew all the songs, all the music, because I've always listened. Music is healing. Music heals my soul. Every time I listen to music, I am happy. Okay, it doesn't matter in what state I am. Music is always making me feel better. So I was going there for the music, and also at the end of church, we'll get very special treats and snacks. That was my special moment with my cousin that I love so much, and I loved it. So it was never for anything else but those special moments I was getting with people that I loved. Very early on, I was confused. I did not really understand where I was fitting. I don't know. I couldn't fit. I was never feeling like everybody else. I was always standing on the side. I was like on the right or the left, and when everybody seemed to be in the middle, I was never fitting in. I was just never really getting it. But I never felt like part of it, but I was among people that felt like they belong, right? Or that seemed to belong. I have to be honest, most of my life I felt very lost. I felt really confused. I never really got it. And at some point I just became sick, and I was sick for a long time. What they call invisible illness. It was one of those invisible illnesses. So I was very sick for a long time. I could not help but question things. I had so many questions, and I felt that they were normal. But yet I was told that I shouldn't question. I should just do as I was told. I should just listen and do as I was told. I was questioning, in fact, was considered to be a sin from what I was told. You needed to do what needed to be done. You needed to follow, Christ. You shouldn't sin. And I was struggling a lot with that because I felt like every day, literally every day, I was sinning. I was always sinning, and I was always told that's something I shouldn't do. But yet every day I was having those experiences where I felt like, oh man, like not again. Every day I have to ask for forgiveness. Every day I have to ask for forgiveness. I'm always sinning. Like, how am I ever going to be better? Am I ever going to be good? Am I ever going to be am I ever going to be perfect? Is it ever going to happen for me? Because it's my biggest struggle. I am just this awful being that keeps on doing what shouldn't be done, right? Around 9, I really had so many questions. I'm just like, I need to understand this. This is confusing. I didn't want to be vulnerable anymore. I didn't want to be told that I was just a vulnerable being that didn't know much, that needed help, that, I I was tired. I wanted to understand. And, people who seem to understand certain things, who understood the law of nature, who were doing their thing, they seem to be not part of, they seem to not belong. It was just like they are the bad ones. They have really bad practices. They just don't get it. They're not children of God. They're not God's children because their practices are different. So the ones that seem a little bit more open were kind of shunned, or they had to hide who they were so that they could just be part of, so they could belong. They had to literally hide, their knowledge so that they could belong. And I was like, no. And, I was told that no, they're not children of God. You don't want to listen to them. You don't want to be part of them. Just, we are very small. We should just read and do and follow and all that. And I'm just like, I'm not great at following. First, literally, I struggle with following. So following was never me. So that part again was hard for me. So I started to feel sorry. I was just like, I feel like a zombie. I need to understand this. I cannot just be told to follow something. And I was never really connecting like that to, I just always felt like there was more. I just always felt like there was more, and that just following, never questioning, was probably never gonna help me. So very early on, I was just like, this is it. I'm not gonna keep following. And I wasn't even good doing that first in the first place. So I'm not gonna keep following. I need to know. Like, I was just like, God, I know we are all your children. And I really know that there's so much more. Like, literally, I spoke to myself. I was just like, I know there's so much more, and I need to know. I need to find out what it is. I know there's more, and I need to find out what I can feel there's more. I cannot just settle. I really want to settle, but I just cannot find it in myself to settle. I want to know what more there is, because I know for a fact, I can feel it, I can sense it, there is more. And I think from there on, things started to unravel. Things started to happen fast, but still yet kind of slow, I want to say. So as things were unraveling, my parents separated. They were not getting along for a long time, so they separated. So that meant that we had to move. I had to move from cities to cities, and I was separated from my brother still. So it was really, really a hard time. And then I lost my dad, which was hard too. So it was like struggles from struggles to struggles. And as I was moving to cities, to another city, family members to family members, I was experiencing all kinds of abuse. It was mental abuse, it was physical abuse. So I started to feel mistreated a lot. I started to think of myself as a victim of everything that was happening to me. So I kept experiencing the same things over and over again. And I was like, yeah, I'm nothing, I'm suffering, my life is terrible. I was really, really coming down on myself. And in the process, with all these experiences, I started to forget who I was. I love singing. I love drawing. I love, creating. I love using my imagination. I love creating different words in my mind. And I was, I was able to tap into different things. And with time, I started to totally forget it because I was bullied here. I was treated this way and that way. I was told that I was bad, that I was things that I really wasn't. And I started to believe that, that I wasn't great enough, my body wasn't beautiful enough. I started to believe things that were not true. So I started to settle into that spirit of, you are nothing. And I started being really bad with myself. I started being really bad with myself. I went through a lot of pain. I was burning myself. I was hating my body. It was a really, really tough time for me. And mentally, I was not balanced. I was very, very unstable. I was in a very unstable space. And then things seemed to have gotten better, but I never truly healed from all that. So it was just from the outside, it seemed to be better, but then it became worse because it never was treated. I never addressed those problems within me. So it got really bad. And I was like, I don't even know why I'm here. I was just like, I don't even understand this, where I'm totally lost. I don't know what I want. I was like, what am I doing here? Like, literally, why am I here? I don't need to be here because it's really not fun. Like, it's tasteless. What am I doing here? I don't even know who I am. Like, I don't even know why I'm in this space. I just need to go. It really got to that place. And, when it gets there, it's a really dark space. So I started to explore ways to terminate it. I was just like, you know what? But I always felt like I wasn't living through my full potential. I wasn't living to be. I felt like I had so much more, but yet I didn't know how to express it. I didn't even know where it was hiding. So I was just like, you know what? Maybe I should end it and do it again. So I was literally, I was willing to do it again, but I wanted it to be better. So I was exploring ways. I was just like, how should I die? Should I die and come back? And I was like, in my mind, I was like, is it even possible? How can someone die and come back? Like, literally, I was exploring options like that. And you'd be surprised, maybe for those who never go there, they'd be like, how do you explore options of how you're gonna die? Like, literally, I was just like, I was not exploring how I'm gonna cut myself or whatever, but I was just like exploring ways of how it's gonna happen when it happens, because I feel like it was gonna happen. So it's just like, do I die and come back as a baby? And then I'm like, oh no, it might be too hard of a process if I have to be reborn as a baby again. How can I do it so that I don't forget who I was, and I can pick up where I left off, but then better. Like, I was literally exploring it, and I was doing it a lot. It was really important to me. And I was always on the brink of ending it, I was just like, I was telling my mom, I just feel like I shouldn't be here. Like, how do I end it? I want it to end. And then it will stop for a little while, and then it will come back again. Like, it was haunting me. I just feel like this isn't right. I need to figure it out. And yes, and then finally I experienced this coma. And it's funny because when I got out of a coma, I kept shedding skin. My skin kept coming off, and it reminded me of those newborns. Sometimes newborn, they come and the skin is so dry and they shed skin. It's like, so I just kept telling my mom that it feels like a rebirth. I feel like I'm being born again. I was like, Mom, what? It's not a condition. The doctor said it's just dry skin, and I don't see any other patient having the same issue. Don't you feel like I'm being reborn again? As I was pulling my skin, because she kept putting lotion on me, and she kept saying, oh my goodness, I don't understand why you keep shedding so much skin. My mom, my aunts, they'll come all the time and they give me showers while I was at the hospital. I was just like, Mom, don't you feel like it's a rebirth? And I wasn't totally there yet when I was telling her that, okay, I felt like I was still not 100%. I was just like, I feel like I'm being reborn, Mom. I just remember telling her all the time, Mom, I feel like I'm being reborn. And literally, that's what I was experiencing. I was experiencing rebirth. I really feel like I came back as a new person. And I went through a lot of pain, like very intense pain. I mean, from how I was treated while I was in the Dominican Republic. And by the way, my butterflies, if you want to know more about the Dominican Republic, again, you can go watch prior videos. I am very specific about what I talk about. I really get to the point. And if you want to know more, you can ask questions down below. And please do not forget to like, comment, and it would be nice to see you as a new subscriber. I would love that. Thank you for listening and watching me. I kept shedding skin, and I felt like I was being reborn. So I was experiencing rebirth, a new way of seeing things. And there is a quote that really resonated with me from Vine Delora Jr. And it says, religion is for people who are afraid of going to hell. Spirituality is for those who have already been there. This quote resonates with me 100%. I am not afraid of hell because I feel like I have experienced hell here. I feel that hell is in the mind. Hell is part of consciousness. Hell is our perception. Hell is the experience we are choosing to be part of, consciously or unconsciously. Hell are the things that we are inviting into our lives, that we are aware or not, people that we are attaching to that may have practices that may not be good, that may invite certain things into their space. You know, hell can be a lot of things. And I believe that we always have a choice, and that we can always choose to express and experience peace and love. It is a choice that we make every day. You should never ever underestimate the power of the light within you.